one moment while I take my fucking pants off in the middle of this podcast.
Yeah, that's normal. So
you're not even gonna ask why? Not a care in the world.
Nope.
I take my sunglasses off and I stared the driver dead in the eye and I held on that horn and it's just blasting them in the ear.
Said you bitch. And she turns around and she goes, I'm walking.
To the first episode of Drinks and a Round Table. The only podcast lying to you right from the fucking start because our table is not round, it's fucking square.
It's rounded corners. So would you call this a square?
I mean, it squares out if you open up that other leaf on the other side. And then we got a rectangular table, at most oval, still not a round table.
Close enough. Close enough. Eggs are round.
Eggs are not round. Eggs are edible, sir.
Oh, well, when I go to McDonald's and I have eggs, they're round.
Why are you going to McDonald's to begin with?
Because I'm healthy.
Whoa, that's disgusting. Eggs are edible, not round. Anyway,
I'm Alexander Void.
And I'm James Draven, and hey, welcome
to it's so sad because I was thinking when you were yelling, you're like, hey, welcome to, and I was like, oh,
how sad.
Well, this is the first Drinks at the Round Table.
This is the brand new podcast called Drinks and a Round Table, not of the Round Table. Drinks and a Round Table.
Get used to it.
And episode 1 will be titled "The Death of the Two Peas."
Oh, that's so sad.
Those of you checking us out and joining us. If you listen to any of our stuff before, we were formerly known as Two Peas and a Podcast. It never, in my brain, was intended to be a full podcast or to go any further than a few episodes. I really just kind of used it as like a beta to figure out things, how to upload certain things, get it on iTunes, how to get it on YouTube. Work on chemistry, things we wanted to talk about, kind of fine-tune certain topics, maybe an organization of how our podcast will go. And I think we figured it out. I think we're good to go. Not a whole lot has changed other than, sir, being that this is our first podcast of Drinks and a Round Table, I feel like you and I have to not haze each other because we like drinking, but we kind of have to induct each other into the round table ceremonies.
Wait, what do you call this? A rite of passage?
A rite of passage, sure. Okay. So anyway, if you listen to our previous podcast, you know that we always had a drink to go with the episode. This time, we're not going to try to make it a different drink every episode. We're also going to cut out beers and like ciders and stuff like that because that was kind of a cheap way out. Again, we were just kind of fine-tuning and figuring certain things out, what we did and didn't want to do. So I feel like if we're going to do a drink every episode, it's got to be a mixed drink of every kind. Who knows? Maybe it's the same drink a couple of episodes, but I feel like at that point it's an official drink of the podcast rather than just going, hey, I'm just going to have a beer, you know?
Yeah, but you at home, if you're hanging out, if you're at home, don't drink and drive. Have a drink. Have a drink with us. This is what this is. This is you and I. This is us, all three of us, just hanging out, 4 of us, whoever is listening.
And if anybody's a spokesperson of Don't Drink and Drive, it would be Mr. Void over here.
I don't know what he means.
How's that community service working out for you?
It is amazing.
You got to give your car blowjobs yet?
Not yet. It's too expensive. But I am getting tanner and tanner by the day, so I can't wait till it's over. I used to look like this, which is very, very light, and then now I'm like this, where you can tell my
gringo on the inside.
Yes. Okay, this is I don't even know. It's cupcake. There you go.
Cupcake. That's a new flesh tone. Cupcake. But yeah, so now that we're starting over, we got to start with a new drink. And I feel like if you're new to the episode, if you're a new guest or something like that, you should kind of have to take a shot. You should kind of get warmed up to what's going on here. So today our drinks are. Would you like to say what our drinks are of the day?
we're actually drinking Jack Daniels and Coca-Cola.
Jack Daniels and Coca-Cola, and for those of you who don't know, who call it a Jack and Coke, it's actually officially been renamed a Lemmy for Lemmy of Motorhead.
I like it.
From Lemmy from Motorhead. Fuck, I
Just
don't know what the fuck I was saying.
said
Yeah, but he used to go to the Rainbow Bar and Grill all the time, and that's what he was known for. Is over there, and he always ordered a Jack and Coke. And when he passed away, everybody officially just kind of started calling it a Lemmy. So if you're not on that train yet, get the fuck on it. With that being said, because we have Jack Daniels here,
It's time to be knighted.
Cheers, good sir. Ooh.
Yeah.
Warm Jack Daniels. And with that, good sir, wait, where's our sword? For drinks and a round table,
You get the sharp one, of course.
I knight you, good sir, Alexander Void of the Round Table.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
with that being said,
And I knight
my turn.
I knight you, sir. James Draven of the Round Table.
Yeah!
So this is us having the drinks and a round table.
So as of right now, we're the only two knights. If anybody would ever like to join the podcast, come on and have a few drinks with us. You're welcome to join us. And then you have to get knighted. Give me one moment while I take my fucking pants off in the middle of this podcast.
Yeah, that's normal. So
You're not even gonna ask why? Not a care in the world.
Nope. I'm used to this. I've been your friend long enough. Okay, so if you want to contact us, you could contact us on Twitter, which we hardly use, but we'll start using it because of this. So on Twitter, my handle is Void Alexander, and that's just because Alexander Void was taken. So can somebody please fix that? So it's Void Alexander. Okay, so twitter.com @Void Alexander.
I'm too busy taking my fucking clothes off.
Okay, so I'll talk for him. Is James Draven, if you want to contact James directly.
But Draven is not spelled the traditional way. It's actually DRHAVEN. So you can find me via Twitter at JAMESDRHAVEN, James Draven. I don't ever use fucking Twitter, so if you wanted to, you could find me on Instagram as well, and that's where I'm mainly at.
Yeah,
So-
I like Instagram as well. What was mine?
Instagram is the Alexander Void.
The Alexander Void. Because again, Alexander Void was taken. So someone can help me out with that. Please make this happen.
As I'm sitting here naked, let's pour us some Lemmies.
I'm fully clothed.
So what are you? So now that we're doing this new podcast and we're getting, we're almost gonna make it a full-on production scale at this point. So those of you listening, what we want to do, or what I want to do at least, is I kind of want to make it multiple things. I want to be able to put live podcasts up on the Facebook page. I want to be able to take those podcasts and record them, put them on YouTube. I want to be able to do funny behind-the-scenes videos that I can capture with my Polaroid Cube. So we'll put those up there.
Can't afford a GoPro.
I can afford a GoPro.
I'm getting a GoPro.
Polaroid Cube seemed better at the time.
Okay, I'm a fancy boy, so I'm gonna get a GoPro whenever I get one.
All right, and then we'll use all of them.
You will not touch my GoPro. Okay, I will use it in front of you and be like, "Oh, go play with your cube, boy."
That's the last thing you should be saying to me as I'm sitting here literally in my underwear. Yeah, the podcast, I want to be able to do YouTube videos. I want to put them up on SoundCloud. It's going to go on iTunes. I want to be able to do interviews with some of our friends who have a lot of fun projects and successful things that they're doing that are not a podcast that's failing miserably.
Or a clothing line.
Or a clothing line that's dead.
Ouch. I'm starting a new one soon, but that's for a later date.
That'll still die as well.
Hopefully it does. It's just 2 strikes, and then I don't know what's gonna happen after that. I think I'm out. Is it 2 strikes you're out?
3.
I don't play sports balls.
Balls.
Anyways.
But yeah, so this podcast is going to be a lot of different things. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on SoundCloud. You can find us on Facebook. And all of our handles are always going to be whatever site you find us on, /Drinks and a Round Table Podcast.
So to make that clear, YouTube.com, SoundCloud.com,
Facebook.com
Facebook.com.
/Drinks and a Round Table Podcast.
Correct. So far, we'll try to add more social media due to requests. So again, just tweet at us or on Instagram, comment or something. We both posted a picture to do with this podcast, so just let us know in that picture. So it's like, hey, I want you in what was that one? Crap, I had it in my head, but it's one where you actually record yourself live. It starts with a P, I believe.
What? I don't know. I know that there's Facebook.
Facebook has live. Even
I know Twitter has a live thing now.
YouTube has live. If you guys want us on Twitch, let us know. All that stuff. Like whatever social media you use or whatever.
Ashley, can you bring me a pair of pants, please? This is ridiculous. Like, I'm literally sitting at the... So we're going... The reason I'm sitting here naked, not that you care, Alex. We're leaving tomorrow for a wedding that we have to drive all the way, like 5 hours for. So she's trying to do all the laundry and make sure there's not one piece of dirty laundry before we leave. So I'm sitting here literally in my underwear, like, doing this podcast. I'd like a pair of pants. It's cold. People will be coming home soon. Well, bring me something.
Something. A towel.
Then a towel. Or a shirt.
Or a sheepdog.
Christ.
Periscope. That's what I was looking for. Periscope.
Okay.
If you know what a Periscope is actually a live feed of just you recording yourself and, you know, recording things. You can turn your camera around. It's on your phone. So if you guys want us on Periscope, let us know. If you want us whatever you prefer. So let us know. We'll see what's up. Snapchat, Tumblr, whatever you like.
Sweet. So, with that being said, I think everybody's got the rundown on our new podcast and how we'll be operating and moving things forward. And I feel like this one will go on for a while. I don't see why not. Gives us a reason to come hang around, drink.
My life is getting better and easier, so I do think that this could happen way more.
Right, and maybe even weekly. Actually, you know what? With 2 Ps in a podcast, I will say we tried to hold it to a every other week kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Let's just do this one where minimum every other week. If not, let's get together every week. We could do a half an hour. We could do 45 minutes. We could do an hour. We could do whatever we want. Let's just make it an effort to do some more. And even if it's not a podcast, make a YouTube video or do an interview or just something, you know? Because I will say this podcast has been very enjoyable. A reason to see you weekly or even another friend to sit down, conversate with people. And I think that's a problem is that a lot of people don't have conversations these days, you know, and I like this. I like that we sit around and just talk and we're kind of off our phones because we're busy listening to the person so we can react to the person so we can think of something else that we want to talk about and do and all this other stuff. So, yeah, I definitely enjoy this and I'd like to do this a little bit more.
Yeah, that sounds nice. I have to make an effort to get out because I like to be in my house, but every time I go out, actually... Mostly the only time I go out to do socially is here. Yeah. And every time I come here, I have a really good time.
It's getting you out of the house that's the problem. Yes. But once you're out, then you have a good time.
Yeah, like right now I'm happy. I'm comfortable. I don't feel like going home yet. That kind of thing. It's like, right. I'm good.
Right. So with that being said, let's, I guess, dive into the podcast. And every podcast, we would just like to, let's just check in with each other and see how everything's going. So... this will be our little opening segment called How Are You?
Hi. So.
How are you doing, Alex?
I'm good actually. There's a lot of things happening in my life that I'm really resolving.
Okay.
So I decided to quit one of my jobs.
Don't ask why I'm naked. It happened. It was your daughter's fault. She is being OCD.
Okay.
Hi, naked boy.
Hi.
Oh, cute.
Thanks. They're Paul Frank. Anyway, so you were saying that a lot of things are on the up and up, and
yeah, I quit. Quitting one of my jobs. I am almost done with community service, and that's pretty much it. So like all this, just things getting easier. Things getting easier. I've been working on this for 2 years.
Knock it off.
my dog is losing his mind. Anyway, things are getting easier.
Come on over here, you little shit.
Okay, so yeah, things are getting easier. Like, I'm almost done with community service. I'm almost, I left my second job. So I just have one job, which, sadly, it's like, I'm not super tight on money, but it is not. I can't throw money away. Like I
Right.
used to. When I had my 2 jobs, it was easier. It's like, oh, you want to go here? Let's just go right now. It's like, oh, you know what? I feel like buying this and this and this. So it's less like that now. So it's just like now I have to pace myself.
Right.
But other than that, like this is, I'm happier now, and that does a lot. It does a lot. Like actually take care of yourself. Actually love yourself, because at that point where you're just working and you just
Now, just to clarify, when you say you love yourself, you're not talking about Pamela Henderson, or in your case, Henderson Ford.
there you go. It's better because I don't know who the first person is.
Han Solo.
There you go. So yeah.
Indy Handa Jones.
Yeah. Spider Ham. Okay. So
Jesus.
there's a lot going on right now.
Your dog's an asshole.
Oh yeah.
I'm almost done with this song that I've been working on for like 5 months, and I shouldn't be working on a song for 5 months. This is just me talking about home studio stuff. It's not talking about like full production kind of things. It's a solo band. It's a minimalist musical instrument band. It took so long because there's like days I don't want to work on it. I'm too tired. I'm just sleepy. Whatever. And all that
Right,
stuff.
working 2 jobs, community service, on top of the fact you and I have been trying to do the podcast, and no, I feel you.
Yeah, so now I'm happy that I can do it, because I remember I just didn't work the other job. I just went to one job and I still had time after, and I just drank a bit and worked on it, and I was happy. I slept well. I woke up, went to work. I was good. I was happy. I was energized. So that's it. That's happening with me. So James, what's happening with you? How are you?
I'm good. It's weird though. Like, as good as I am, I'm happy. I've got a great job. You know, for some of you who know, and if you don't know, whatever, I work for Uber, and it's good money.
Is that where Uber stories come from?
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, for those of you, yeah. Well, we'll do one later. So anyway,
those of you who knows,
we'll worry about that later. So anyway, no, it's good, and as happy as I should be, I'm angry, and I don't know why. Like, and it's not typically angry. It's not like like I'm just mad. It's a weird thing where it's like I've started developing road rage.
Okay.
And I never had road rage before. Like,
yeah, I don't.
Normally, like when I drive, it was always very easy for me to just kind of like I sit in traffic and I didn't care because I knew there's no way around it. It happened. I didn't care that somebody had cut me off because I was like, whatever, you're not going to get anywhere fast tonight. But lately, I don't know what it is. I've just been trying to pick a fight with everyone for no reason. Like, somebody cuts me off, I lay on the horn, I hold on to it, I'm flipping drivers off. Like, I don't know why, but it's like coming out of nowhere.
I know you people.
So, all right, so what Alex was talking about earlier. So here's an Uber story, right? Hear this. So I was working one day, driving around. I didn't have anybody in my car, but LA drivers for some reason have this weird urge that, like, if you see an intersection, if you see any space, they pull right up to it. Even if the light is red, they will pull up and block the intersection because they just want to be able to get through that intersection.
Yep.
So the problem with it is that it got under my skin one day, and I don't know why. These 2 ladies were sitting and they left the intersection open, which was great. It's what they should have been doing. But the second the light turned yellow, they moved forward, blocking the intersection, so I couldn't drive through it. And as I'm sitting there, like, watching the light turn yellow into red, it starts making me angrier and angrier because now I can't go.
Yeah.
Now I'm the side that should be able to go, but now there's going to be traffic on my side because I can't go.
Now you have that minute.
Right. Now
yeah.
So now I have to wait 3 minutes for the light to go through them again, through me. Hope the next person isn't the asshole.
Oh, it's a 3-way light. Okay.
No, it's a 2-way light, like it's 4 intersections, but you wait. It's a 3-minute light because you wait for them. Then I have to wait for I have to wait for my entire light. Then I have to wait for their light. Then I have to wait for mine to turn green again.
Yeah.
So the problem is they pulled up, they blocked the intersection, they look over, and they kind of like, and I'm already angry. Like, I'm literally at the peak of anger. So the second they looked over and they saw me, and then they started talking, and I see them giggle a little bit, which in my brain I triggered to, this dumbass has to wait and can't move now, even though I couldn't hear him. It sent me over the edge. So nothing violent happened, but again, like I was saying, for some reason I'm just trying to pick a fight with everyone. So I pull forward to their car. I'm easily centimeters away from their car. Like I just kind of inch, and I get my car as close as humanly possible, literally to their passenger side door. And I see them both turn, and as I'm like 2 feet away, they keep going like, hey, stop, stop, stop. And I can hear them screaming like, I'll call the cops if you hit my car, blah, blah, blah. So I get, again, centimeters from their car door, but the window is down. And so as I got that close to the car, and they're both looking me dead in the eyes, I took my sunglasses off, because I always drive with sunglasses. I take my sunglasses off, and I stared the driver dead in the eye, and I held on that horn, and it's just blasting them in the ears. And I'm just like sitting there holding it, and I have a middle finger up. The same time I hit that horn, my arm extended as straight as humanly possible, and I'm just middle finger pressed against my front windshield.
I'm gonna cry.
This sounds like a repeat of this afternoon.
It was so good. Like, wait.
He needs to tell his.
All right, hold on. We got a guest for the show. We're doing this in the kitchen of the Rodriguez mansion. Senor Rodriguez, would you like to share your story?
It's similar, but it was a pedestrian.
Okay.
Okay, the light turns green. Okay, she's walking across the street, smoking a cigarette, dragging her feet.
They're heavy.
Right. Especially when you're smoking and filling them full of
and
ash.
the light turned red. It turned green again.
And she's still
strolling across, and I just completely went crazy. I honked the horn. I said, "You fucking bitch!" And she turns around. She goes, "I'm walking," and I just did this one. And the light turned green, and then we went. So it was
He
just
called her.
Oh
That's my
man.
favorite word.
I don't know what it is with people in LA that just it enrages me that they like. I get it. The pedestrians have the right of way. We get it. Like obviously if they don't have a car, like give them some time to get across. But I feel like pedestrians in Los Angeles just take advantage of it. They literally just the pedestrian has the right of way. But the pedestrian has the right of way on a crosswalk. They have the right of way if it's your turn to walk. But for some reason, like the light will turn green with the arrow saying for us to turn. The crosswalks don't turn on. And these fucking people think that, oh, well, just because the light's green for my general direction, I'm going to start crossing the street and there's nothing you can do because I have the right of way. And you can't hit me with your car because, I'll sue you. And it's like, it's just like a sense of entitlement and power that like these fucking a-holes have.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's like a whole like, you can't hit me, you can't hit me, the end.
And it's so annoying. But anyway, it's just, I don't know why, like, I've been trying to just pick a fight with people. Like, that was one of them, okay? And that one happened maybe a month ago. I'll give you another one, right? So, again, just with me trying, and it's maybe been about 2 months. I just want to pick a fight with anybody. Like, we went to a bar for a friend's birthday, and all night I kept eyeballing all of the girls' drinks because I just wanted somebody to drop something in their drink, and then I was going to walk up and just fight someone. Like, I don't know why I have this rage in
I have
me.
that problem too.
But it's not because I'm 24.
Yes, it is. It's between the age of 24 and 25. You have this pent-up aggression.
Hey, no, you know what? It was like 2 years ago or a year ago. You're right. See, I had that problem too because, like, I remember I used to go to Bar Sinister and I was like, I want to get in a fight. I need to get in a fight. I just want to hit somebody. I haven't hit somebody in so long. Like, I haven't hit somebody. Like, the last time I hit somebody was at a bar. But we'll get to that after your story.
Well, no, that's it. Just I was waiting for somebody to. Well, that's not it. That's the part of it. But like, I don't know what it is. It's like I've been waiting to just get in a fight recently. It's like Fight Club. It's like Tyler Durden being like, you have to go get in a fight, and then after you get in the fight, you're like, oh, that feels so good. I'm gonna do it again. But I haven't been in the fight yet. Like I'm just waiting to like get in a fight. But so anyway, we're trying to pick a fight with someone. So I got ballsy one day in downtown LA, and in downtown LA, that city is a fucking wreck, a complete shit show. What, like from 3 to 315, this street is a one-way street, but from 323 to 445, this street is a two-way street. But then you can't go down this street on Monday and Tuesdays. But what happens if it's that time during Monday and Tuesday? It's absurd. Anyway, so I get a request to go pick somebody up. You know what? We'll make this part of the Last Night on Uber story segment, right? So I get a request and I pull up in front of the apartment. But in front of the apartment, there's a little zone for cars to park with meters and stuff. but it says on a sign, no parking from 3 to 5. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but I'm not parking. I'm just picking somebody up. So I pull up and I'm sitting there waiting, and right behind me, giving a car a ticket, is a what are they called? Parking enforcement. I used a different term. I'll give you that one in a second.
Okay.
It's an insulting term, but that's why I gave it to him. So anyway, so I'm sitting there waiting. I have my flashers on. I'm not parked, and I'm just waiting for the passenger to come out. And I was doing a pool, so you have a 2-minute timer.
Yeah.
Anyway, the parking enforcement walks up to me after he's done giving that car a ticket, taps on my glass, and I roll down my window, and I say, yes, and he goes, you can't park here. I said, oh, don't worry, I'm not parking. I'm just doing Uber, and I'm just waiting for the passenger to come out. Mm-hmm. And he goes, no, you don't understand. You can't stop here.
Oh, well, no parking or stopping?
It says no parking, but I was like, no. I was like, I'm just picking somebody up, and I'll be right on my way. I said, they've got about, 45 seconds, or it was like a minute and 45 seconds had gone by, but I go, they've got about a minute left, and I said, and then I'll be on my way, even if they're not out. Mm-hmm. And he goes, you can either move, or I can give you a ticket. And I don't know what it was, but it like snapped instantly. Like, and it's not even the fact that he said those things to me. Like, I know the way I'm saying them, it makes it sound like, yeah, no big deal. He's doing his job, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's the way he was fucking saying it to me, the way he was like talking, and the condescending voice that he was giving me. I was like, listen fucking here, meter maid. I said, we can do one of two things. Either one, you can call the cops and have them come, and they can come deal with this. Or two, you can fucking wait another 45 seconds and I'll be out of your hair. I said, which one you want to do? So he goes and he walks to the front of my car, and I don't have my license plates on yet. And he comes back and he goes, what's or he goes, I need your driver's license. I went, no, you don't. I said, you're a meter maid. You don't have the authority to ask me for my driver's license. I said, you're going to call the cops? And at that point, it was like 20 seconds left on the meter, or on the minute, until the ride gets automatically canceled. Yeah. And so 20 seconds are left, and he goes, you need to move your car now before I have it towed. I said, are you going to call the cops? You're going to call the cops? You're going to call the cops? And I just sat there and keep saying it.
7-year-old.
I just kept doing it, dude, because after it was 20 seconds left, and I knew he couldn't do shit, and he was just being a condescending prick. And so I'm sitting there going, you're going to call the cops? You're going to call the cops? Meter maid? You're going to call the cops? You're going to call the cops? You're going to call the cops? And at that point, literally, as he was getting so angry, all of a sudden the timer clicked and the thing canceled because the person wasn't out on time. And I go, have a great fucking day. And I drove off. And I just, again, I don't know why I'm trying to pick a fight. And it's getting bad because I'm starting to challenge enforcement.
I like it. I like it a lot. Actually, this is the most entertaining Uber story.
It's kind of getting bad. I'm not going to lie. But, yeah, so, I mean, how am I? I'm great, except for the fact somebody's going to have to bail me out of jail real soon.
I'll start saving.
Oh, Jesus.
You were there for me to bail me. Oh, wait, no, you weren't.
Anyway, so that's how I've been.
Let me tell you about my fight story, actually, before we move on. Because I do have a fight story that you reminded me of. So, last time I punched somebody was a while ago. And I used to...
Last time I punched someone...
So long. Well, it's like I used to get into a lot of fights when I was a kid. I loved fighting, and I was that guy. I wasn't really into comic books and stuff, but I was like I always wanted to help people. So I wanted to be somebody's hero. So that's how I got popular in school, I guess, because I was a nice guy. I was a cool guy, and I actually just I used to pick on fights. A lot of people didn't actually fight me just because they didn't want to. Mm-hmm.
Well, wait, were you like a goth kid back in high school and stuff too?
Well, I didn't really count as a goth kid.
Alternative, like wearing all black and stuff? Okay.
Definitely alternative. I actually had blue jeans all the time. I had blue jeans, they were always torn. I had some weird, I think, purple Converse. I had
purple shoes in high school myself.
I wanted to be some weird kid. And
I was a skateboarder still back in high school, though, so I had like these purple Fallens that were the Chris Cole editions. Like big puffy purple shoes. They were fucking great.
I didn't have puffy shoes. I rode a skateboard because I lived 2 hours away from my school. And I had to ride home.
Yeah. Why the fuck did you live 2 hours from school?
I don't have best family. Anyways. But I rode my skateboard. And I had Converse. Purple Converse. So imagine riding Converse and trying to do any kind of kickflip or anything in those shoes. Like, it hurt.
Well, Converse and like old school Vans are never meant for skating. You will roll your ankle and lose a foot.
It hurt. It hurt. Like, I love my Converse. but it hurt. That was back then. I remember I always wanted Osiris's. They
Oh,
were just
those
too
yeah.
expensive. They were
Every time I
fat.
think of Osiris, though, I always thought the band of the band Born of Osiris made those shoes. I don't know why.
Well, anyways, so yeah, I used to wear the same black sweater every day. I had a black sweater. I always had the hood on, so my teachers would always tell me, "Put your hood down." So I was that kid. I had long hair. I had hair probably up to my shoulders. I kind of looked like a grunge kid, to be honest, because my jeans were always blue jeans and was torn. And I constantly got loners. I don't know if you had those.
No, I didn't.
Loners are sweatpants, like gym sweatpants that they force to give you when you're wearing inappropriate clothing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they call them loners in my
They were
school.
usually like bright orange and green T-shirts if there was the T-shirt problem.
Luckily, mine were blue, just because my school, I believe there were the Dolphins. I don't even... Bulldogs?
Well, I mean, I went to Taft and our colors were red and gold, but we still wore green and bright orange T-shirts, and that's because the school essentially tried to embarrass you so hard and made your shirt stand out that like you would wear appropriate clothing going to school. Honestly, every time I was ever caught with a bad T-shirt, though, for that period, I would just go and change my T-shirt inside out and be like, "Oh yeah, that's what the counselor said to do." And then I'd go back into class, and then as soon as that class was done, on my way to the next class, naked walking down the fucking roadway, changing my shirt back inside out, put it back on.
Nice, that's smart, because for me, I couldn't do it to my pants. Anyway, so I always had torn pants.
As you're walking, just like walking with no pants on, like, what the fuck is happening?
But my counselor said to do this. Anyways.
My counselor said, "Dick out."
yeah. We're in the office alone. Anyways. So yeah, I was always that kid. I used to always like cause fights just to save people. Like I would be that quote unquote nerd hero. Like that's
Okay.
Yeah.
Nerd
like,
hero.
Well, there was a lot
Easy,
of like,
Spider-Man.
there's a lot of like not necessarily nerdy people. I don't know what to call these people because they're not necessarily nerdy. They weren't into comics or Dungeons and Dragons, but like they kind of just were regular kids who had
Just
rolling
outsiders.
backpacks. They had thick glasses. They just kind of like their parents still dressed them. Like it wasn't necessarily like they're geeks or anything. They might still like the same bands that I did or whatever. But they looked quote unquote nerdy. They looked not cool.
Okay.
So just every time I saw somebody fight with these people or any kind of a lesser grade, because I remember it was 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and at that time I was a 7th grader, I think. Because I remember in 6th grade I still did it. I didn't give. And that's how I got popular, to be honest. Because I dated an 8th grader when I was in 6th grade. It became a thing. Anyways,
okay.
Not talk about that. Screw that. But anyways, so because of that, I guess I got that mentality that that's the right thing to do. When I grew up, I didn't have a father, so like I needed to just hang on to anything that everybody told me was right. So I took that to the rest of my life. So going to close to present day, like a year ago, I think was 1 year. I really do think it's 1 year. I'm bad with time. I was at a bar. Let's call it bar. And
Let's call it bar.
I was with some friends. Okay, we were playing pool. Let's call that game pool. So anyways, one of my friends...
And let's call them captives.
Okay, so Mr. Captive is just one guy. Mr. Captive was there and he was playing pool.
Call them slaves.
Okay, so we were all playing pool, we were having a good time, and the pool tables were kind of close. We were kind of close to each other. So there was somebody playing right next to us, and that's fine. You know, we don't care. We always look behind us, kind of thing. Like they always look behind themselves, so they could see that they're not hitting us and stuff like that. Like when they're ready to shoot and stuff. So or like when they're trying to fix a shot. So whatever. Anyways, so I was sitting there. I was out of this game because I believe we had an odd number, so we were going 2v2 or 3v3, whatever it was. But I remember I was just sitting there and I was just watching. I was having a good time. Like I've been there for a while, so I'm a little bit buzzed. Drinking my Jack and Cokes like always, which is the theme for tonight.
Right.
But actually,
Lemmies. Our Lemmies.
Lemmies. Sorry, Lemmies. Toast.
Salute to Lemmies. Yes.
To Lemmies. So, so we were there, and one of my friends, Mr. Captive, he actually was aiming a shot.
Mr. Captive is.
Then he pulled the pool stick back, and the other guy right on time just turns for some reason. He turns like he didn't even have his pool stick, and Mr. Captive's pool stick hit him in the eye
Oh shit.
when he backed it up. So it hit him in the eye, and Mr. Captive, like,
Okay, can we stop calling them captives now? Because like it was a joke to begin with, but now I'm seriously like,
call
do
him
you,
something. Give him a
Jesus,
name.
just call them your friends. Fuck.
Okay, Mr. Friend. Well, it's just one specific friend. That's why I was giving Mr.
Okay.
So my friend, so he was, he's a tough guy. He's a tough guy. He's a pretty big guy. You can't see his muscles really, but he could take a beating
Right.
for sure. Like, he's a tank. We always call him the tank because he could drink forever. He could fight forever. Like, when I met him.
Okay, so Mr. Captive, now friend, is known as Tank. That would have been great to
Okay,
follow
so
the
there
story.
you go. The tank. Like, even I met him in the first year of high school, and from there, some guy came at us with a knife, and he just stood there, and he's just like, no. And the guy with the knife was like, what do you mean no? Give me your stuff. It was like, no. Like, and he said, this guy said no before the guy even, like, approached us fully. Like, he was still walking towards us.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, and the guy who was trying to rob us, he's like, okay. So he gave him like the "it's cool" handshake thing.
The open slide hand and fist bump.
Yeah. So like he did that, and then he walked away. So like this guy, he has no fear really.
Right.
So anyways, so the tank, that's what we'll call him now, because you don't like Mr. Captive. So the tank like hit this guy at the pool table, and he's like, "Oh man, I'm sorry." Like he does that because he is a nice guy. He doesn't attack you unless you attack him.
Right.
So he's just like, "Oh man, I'm sorry." And the guy's like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" He's like, "What's wrong with you? Like seriously?" And he's just being super rude to this guy. And my friend's like, I know it's my fault. Like I'm sorry. And this guy's just and so for some reason, I guess everybody knows that I like fighting. For some reason, a couple of my friends just looked at me, and they saw me just down my drink, just like finish the whole thing.
Oh god.
And they see me stand up, walk around the pool table because I was on the other side of him. Walk around the pool table, and nobody stopped me. They were just kind of all just with their mouths open, just looking at me. And one of his friends saw me, so I knew what he was gonna do. So I just punched him right away, and so I punched him and pushed him back. And then the guy who, like, right there, right next to him, couple of, like, probably 1 second away, the guy who's yelling at my friend looks over at me, and then I punched him in the eye, and he just fell to the floor, and that was it. Just everybody just kind of yelled, and just everybody kind of stood up, and they were just, like, I guess, waiting to fight. So the guy finally is like, wait. He stands up, and he's like, "I'm sorry, my girlfriend left me tonight. She thought I was cheating. I was really cheating, blah blah," and all those things. Like, I took it out on your friend. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't my fault. Like, I'm sorry. Can you please forgive me? And I just walked away. I didn't say anything. I just walked away. I went to sit back down.
Nobody ever hugged you as a child, did they?
What's a hug? Anyways, so there was that. It was just so yeah, we always call that the two black eye moment.
Two black eye or black guy?
No, two black eye moments because
Like eyes, you see eyes.
because
Okay.
we hit each eye.
I
The
was-
thing is that
I
he
was
hit
like,
the
wow,
right,
Jesus Christ, what's up
Yeah.
with this story?
he hit the right eye with the pool stick, and I hit his left eye with my fist. So we always call it two black eyes. So whenever we talk about it, we say two black eye moment.
Nice.
It's like, do you remember that two black eye moment? It's like, why don't you do that now? I'm trying to not get arrested.
All right.
Good
Well, yeah. Can you not do that anymore? That'd be great.
I get bored. Like lately, I've been wanting to fight.
You and me both. Let's fucking go to a bar and just start a fight with
Why
someone.
don't you and I start a fight club?
Maybe.
Yeah,
But we're not supposed to fucking talk about it. See, we already ruined it. We're not supposed to talk about it.
I'm sorry.
God damn it, Alex.
It's over. Fuck. We're so close.
God damn it.
We're so close.
So
I think
anyway,
yours a Tyler. Would you be a Tyler?
would I be? I would definitely be probably Tyler
I feel
Durden.
more of a Cornelius. That's what we're calling him.
fuck?
He's a narrator. That's all he is in the books. So
His
I'm
name's
used
not
to it.
Cornelius.
I think in the books now in Fight Club 2 they actually call him Jack. No, it wasn't Jack.
No, his name is
Something stupid. I remember I hated it.
No, what is his name?
Okay, just letting you know that in Fight Club the book he had no name. He was just known as the narrator. In the movie, I think they ended up calling him Jack. He calls him Cornelius in the first.
Sebastian.
Sebastian.
That's what his name was.
Yeah, Sebastian's in Fight Club 2.
Right.
Yeah, because he didn't have a name. Because in Fight Club, the movie, they were saying that his name is Jack. I'm Jack's colon and blah blah.
Well, I mean that can be misconstrued because I think the Jack's colon comes from like a poem.
Yeah, that's in the book as well. Like there's a whole thing. Like if you
right,
read, and
but he doesn't officially have a name in the first movie. It's just narrator. Because if you look it up on IMDb and stuff, Edward Norton's character all says narrator.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
I remember that.
It says narrator. He didn't have a name only until Chuck Palahniuk. Palahniuk.
Think of two
Chuck
different names.
Palahniuk didn't give him a name until Fight Club 2, and that's because it was comic book purposes.
Makes sense.
Um,
It's hard to.
which have you read that yet? Have you finished it?
I haven't. I haven't read.
I have all the
issue
issues.
2. No, I have the whole hardcover.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah, I'm a hardcover guy.
Yeah, it's really good. I will say it.
It's big, man. That thing is huge.
Yeah, it's like 11 issues, 11 or 12 issues.
That's a lot. That's a lot to compile.
And it's really good. It's really well done. The ending will throw you off though.
I'm happy.
The ending is not your typical ending, but then again, you'll see why too. It's kind of I'm not gonna ruin it. It's a good ending, but
honestly,
it's
the beginning
odd.
pissed me off. The beginning pissed me off. I was just like, this sounds so typical, and I'm like, okay, but this makes sense to the characters.
It gets better. It gets way better.
I'm happy, yeah, because the beginning was kind of slow for me. That's why I didn't keep reading. I was like, oh, you know what? I'll just wait till the trade paperback.
The issue 3, like issue 1 and 2 set it up, and then
1 and
issue
2.
3 through the rest of it just flows.
I'm happy.
It definitely had me biting for more. Speaking of Fight Club 2, a lot of new comics that I've been reading. The Daredevil, the all new, all different Daredevil stuff is really good.
Wait. All new, all different. That's the new Marvel thing, right?
Yeah, it's a new Marvel thing that they started doing after what was it? It was called Secret Wars 2, or not Secret Wars 2, but it's Secret Wars of like 2015 or something like that.
Yes, I forgot the remade.
Yeah, they
Secret Wars.
redid a Secret Wars. So Daredevil, basically Secret Wars was almost them resetting. Like they saved the Earth and everybody forgot a lot of things that had happened. So apparently Matt Murdock had revealed his identity, but with the whole reset of everything, nobody now knows who he is.
Okay.
He's also not working as a private attorney anymore with Foggy Nelson.
Hold on.
He works for as a public defender.
So, I heard that the new Daredevil is actually really good.
It is. Yeah.
Okay, so go on. Because I'm excited about
It's
this.
the new Daredevil stuff, and if you want to borrow it, I'll gladly lend it to you. It's really good.
I hate issues, man. I hate issues.
Well, but that's the thing is even though I would lend you the issues, I have all of them, so you can just read through them.
I'm still pissed because they feel so floppy and there's ads in every page.
Well, the only reason why I mean, most books I read are trades. I do like to buy trades because you can just flow through them and get the whole story. But there are very few books that are good enough that I go, okay, I'll support the current stuff. Because obviously that's where they make most of their money is on the current stuff.
I didn't know that. So if you would have told me that, I actually would care.
Yeah, that's so the way that the comic book industry works is that they want you to buy the stuff as it comes off the shelves. Second, third, fourth prints, those are good signs because it means that they're making their money and that those are high demand books, which also means those are good series.
You know what? Hold on. I didn't think of that because that makes a lot of sense. See, I like supporting all my artists. So in this case, in the case of music, like I buy everything that they set up. So
Here's a perfect example. Putting it into music relations, okay? When an album comes out, do you buy the album or not? If you buy the album, great. It supports it. It lets the artist know keep going. It lets the artist know go on tour. It lets the artist know you're doing a great job. We like this particular sound, and that's why you have those albums that are like the peak, like Avenged Sevenfold City of Evil album. That's their big album. Well, okay, so then another one like Marilyn Manson. Okay. Marilyn Manson's big album is the one with Irresistible Hate Anthem and Beautiful People.
Antichrist Superstar.
That one. That's the big one. That's the one everybody went, we really like you, keep going. And then the other albums obviously didn't make as much as that one, but still generate a lot of income stuff. So with that being said, if you if artists have enough albums, then what happens? They put out a greatest hits album. The greatest hits album is essentially the trade paperback form of a comic book.
See, but
So
hold
when
on.
you buy a greatest hits album, you're buying 5 or 6 albums worth of their best songs on each one of those albums, but you're not supporting how much money they could be making if you bought the first CD, second CD, all the way through the 6th CD. You're just buying the one with the best radio songs, you know?
Music versus comics. This is exactly how I feel. Is that when I support the artist right away, I get the album. Okay, full 12 tracks.
Right.
But if I support them a year later, when their deluxe edition comes out, that's when I'm pissed, because then me as a fan, I get screwed over for having just the album and not the extra songs. So for the graphic novel, that's exactly how I feel.
Well, the way
So I'm buying the deluxe edition.
Well, the way that the deluxe edition works is that people go, listen, and I mean, this is my personal output. I don't know if this is how it is within the industry or anything like that. But when they put out deluxe edition, it's because that album was so successful that obviously people want to hear more stuff. So what do? They take the extra songs that didn't make the original cut for the 12-song album. They put 17 songs on the album now, which is giving you an extra 5 songs from that particular time when they recorded that album. So with that being said, it would be like this. You go and you buy... So here's a way to think about it. When you buy a regular CD, you're buying the regular comic book.
Yeah.
When you buy the deluxe edition CD, which is usually about $5 more because you got the extra tracks and stuff.
Comic book, you mean the issue, right?
Right.
Okay.
I'm talking about the floppies. When you buy the deluxe edition CD, you're buying the variant cover because you're getting something with a little bit more. You're getting something with a particular artist who drew a particular cover, so you're buying the
That's
extra.
not a good example, because I think that an issue is a single. See, my thing is that a deluxe edition is all of it. So it's just me getting the Killing Joke. They call it deluxe edition, or the latest edition that they have. It's like it has the Killing Joke. It has this extra story.
But this is what I'm getting
And
at is
scripts.
because the Killing Joke did so well that they went, you know what? If you like it so much, let's show you a little bit more, which is then why you would go buy that other copy, is to have the little bit more in that book if you're interested in it.
Let me give you this example.
It's also, keep in mind though, it's not meant for you to go, okay, cool, keep coming back and keep buying these. It's to say, if you liked it well enough and you want to know a little bit more, here's a little bit more.
Okay, so let me give you this example. This example's amazing, at least I think. This is how I feel about music. So there's this band, this small band. Well, I guess it got bigger now because it toured with Tool. 3 Teeth.
Okay.
So when 3 Teeth was coming out, they didn't even come out yet. The album didn't come out yet, and they already had pre-orders for this this vinyl, which I will call deluxe edition. It's not really a deluxe edition, but it had a vinyl. It had remixes in a flash drive. Okay, they gave you a tooth flash drive.
Okay.
It says 3 Teeth on it, and
I think a lot of bands did that for a while. Like I know bands were doing like those rubber band bracelets that were like real popular, but they were also USB flash drives.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I think I have one from Bring Me the Horizon.
Okay. So we're talking about good bands now. So so they had their vinyl, and then they had a flash drive. And the flash drive, it had the remixes, and it also had 2 books. And it had a couple of pictures, just images of things that inspired them, that they made. So this was really cheap. If I remember, it was like like $62 max. It could be less than that if I remember. No, for sure it's less than $62. So I was right there, about to buy it, and I was just like, I only heard 3 songs from this band. I don't know if I want to buy it. But I'm so into these 3 songs. I love it. I should buy it. Okay, so finally it's sold out. It's limited edition to like 92 of this. And then never sold again. So, we got that. So now, after that, they released a vinyl of just the album. Once the album came out. Never again do you get that special edition.
Okay.
Okay, so it's kind of like you helped us out to make our album or whatever. Here's the vinyl, special edition see-through vinyl, splattered splatter see-through is what they called it. And this flash drive was never going to exist again with these special
Right, and
things.
those are special editions. The same thing with like limited prints. Like, for example, when you have variant covers of comics, you have A covers and B covers, but then you also have limited edition covers. So, like for example, all those movie poster ones that I have, that are all comic books, like Batman mocking the Matrix or Superman Wonder Woman mocking Gone with the Wind.
Every time you post those, I really like
I
those.
fucking
'Cause
love
they're
those
amazing.
comics like no other. I love comic books, and then the movies, like them mocking it, like is the greatest thing.
The Lost Boys.
The Lost Boys Teen Titans.
So
And then have you
good.
seen the Lost Boys X-Force one I got?
Yes, I did see
Yeah, I'll
it.
have to,
I love
that one's I love that too.
Yeah, so good.
But anyway, so when you buy, so like those ones were variant covers. So there's A covers and B covers, and then there's variant covers. So that's what yours was, is when you buy that special edition, like never gonna come out again, hard drive with the vinyl and all that. That would be like buying the variant cover rather than the B cover. The B cover is the deluxe edition, all that stuff. But anyway, so I mean, obviously comparing between music and comics isn't the best way to really explain, because they're two different industries. Long story short, I always make sure
wait,
that
hold on. No.
there's at least 5 comic books that I make sure I pick up, depending on which one I feel is doing better at the particular time. Either DC or Marvel will be like, I'll pick up 3 DC comics and 2 Marvel comics, or 3 Marvel comics and 2 DC comics, whichever one. But as long as I'm giving them a little bit, and then like for example Batman stuff's always been popular. I don't have to worry about them necessarily losing my dollar over those issues. So that's where I'll buy those trades.
Well, what I'm saying is that I want an incentive to go early. Like, I want an incentive to be an early supporter. It's like, because I'm an early supporter, I'm going to get this and this.
Right.
That's why I like that motive of how Three Teeth did it. Because, oh crap, my head is stuff. Okay, so, like I said, it's like, people should give that extra thing. So the only example I have in comics is Death of the Family.
Okay.
Have you read Death of the Family just in issues?
Death of the Family or
Yes.
in the family?
No, of.
That's the one where the Joker has his face cut off?
Correct.
Yes. I've read those ones, but I have not read them in issue format. I have them in trade.
No, only read it in issues. Because in issues is amazing. In trade, it sucks. Well, it doesn't suck, but it's not as good as in issues. Because in issues, see, like, this is me just being a super nerd, because I'm into Joker. Joker's my favorite character of all time. So I just read everything to do with Joker right away. Like, please give it to me. The only thing I didn't do, Suicide Squad.
Okay.
Anyways, moving on. So in that one, if you read the issues when they come out, it's all like, the truth is Joker loves Batman.
Right.
Joker wants to be with Batman. You and I are meant to be. You and your family, the family's just holding you back.
Right.
You're meant to be with me. Okay? But if you read the trade, there's way less of that. Like,
Well,
you don't
the
even
only
get to
reason
feel
why there's less of that, well, there's more and less. When you read it in issue format, if you're reading Death of the Family and you're just reading the Death of the Family comics, you have Nightwing's side of it, you have Batgirl's side of it, you have Batwoman's
You're
side of it.
talking about the tie-ins.
Right, and that would be the Death of the Family, is because they have all those tie-ins, they have the crossovers. But if you're talking about single issues, like if you're reading like just Batman and you're reading just
That's what I'm
Batman's
talking
portion of it, well, it's the same. It's the
I've
same
read them
exact
all.
book.
I've
It's
read
just
them
the only difference is that you're not getting the suspense of like a TV show where, for example, like between Netflix and live television, with The Flash, you're watching it, and then all of a sudden it leaves you on a cliffhanger. Is The Flash going to die? Is he going to mess the timeline up again? Is everything going to be all right? You don't know, and so you're waiting an entire week, and then when it comes out and you read that next issue, you're like, oh, this is awesome.
I'm telling you right now that you're wrong.
Whereas when you read it in trade format, you have all of it released to you right
I
then
get
and
what you're
there.
saying, but you're wrong.
You're
So-
wrong.
No.
Fuck you, guy.
Read it, okay? Read the quote-unquote first issue.
You read it. Fuck you, guy.
If you read the first issue of Death of the Family, just by and I'm just talking about Batman. Only Batman, not the Titans. You don't care about the Titans. You could
Now, when you
care
say
if
only
want to.
Batman, Detective Comics, Batman and Robin, which one?
Batman.
'Kay.
Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo.
Right.
Okay, so Death of the Family, that team. Read just Batman, first issue. Read that in the graphic novel, and then reread it in the issue.
Okay.
Okay, and do that for 2, do that for 3, do that for 4, so on and so forth. You will see the difference. They actually change words. They actually change things. They remove some panels. You'll see it. You'll see it because
You'll
I
have to
did
show
that.
me.
Yeah, I did that, and it bugged the crap out of me.
I couldn't see them removing panels and
Right.
removing stories, though. It doesn't make sense.
Exactly. Like, it flipped me out because I didn't know they did this. I didn't know people did this. And then from there, I was just like, am I reading the right comic when I'm reading graphic novels? That's when I started questioning myself. I was like, should I start buying issues?
Right.
Because I'm a graphic novels guy. I like to have everything. It's a gratification. That's the way I'm a kid. So, yeah. So that bugged the crap out of me when I learned that.
Huh. Yeah, I didn't.
That's the only one that I know.
I mean, I've never heard of that. I've never heard them doing that, so I can't really agree or disagree with it. But do you have those issues or no?
I do not have the issues, but I read the issues when they were coming out.
Because I mean, I remember reading the issues when they were coming out because I was living with a guy who was collecting those, and so I remember him letting me read those, and then holy fuck, that's a lot of jacks.
Yeah, I know. I just thought of that.
I remember him letting me read those issues, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is just this is fucking amazing." And then I remember going, "I want to read that over and over," and I bought the trade, and I remember it being exactly the same. Me going, "Holy shit, this is just as good as before." But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. So
Yeah, I do believe so. I believe somebody brought it up. I think Greg Capullo brought it up. In an
well,
interview.
anyway,
And I
but-
actually think it was with Kevin Smith, so you should know this.
you would think. But yeah, so I mean, with that being said, though, again, just the comparison between the two and whether or not blah blah. Long story short, if you buy the floppy issues, which is what the
traits,
the
the issues,
true like comic book image of like off the shelf like that shit, the floppies are what they're called. If
Is
you
that
buy
really the name?
a floppy,
Okay.
it's a comic book, but you can get a comic book, you can get a trade paperback comic book, you can, all those. So if you want like the perfect image of a comic book, it's a floppy.
Do people have names? Like, if you only buy issues of floppies, or if you only buy the trades? Is there a term for these people?
No,
Oh, that sucks.
no. I think it's just comic book collector. I mean, because ultimately, not even with just comic books, but collections in general, your collection is only worth what you are. Like, if you feel like you collect something, then you collect something. Somebody who collects fucking bottle caps from every beer they've ever drank, like, to them it could be their collection. To us, we would be like, it's your trash, you
It's
know.
trash.
So it's the prize, or not the prize, but the treasure is only worth what you see value,
Yeah,
which
but-
is with anything really. Like,
What
a
I meant
comic
is
book.
like emos, goths, scene, all that,
No.
all the crap. So for me, like, I'm a hardcover collector. If it exists in hardcover, I will get that. If it once existed in paperback and then a hardcover came out later on, I'm gonna throw
Hardcovers
away.
would always be first.
I'll throw away the paperback and grab the hardcover.
So here's another example. Perfect example is if you like buying and collecting in certain things. So if you get the floppy, you get first prints. First prints are always worth more. All that kind of stuff. You got
Who
the people
cares?
who collect it for
They're
monetary
worth
value.
0 to me.
So, but what I was gonna get at is that you've got the first issues, then you've got second prints, third prints, and all that stuff. At that point, they're just kind of putting those comics out. They might be a little bit less, so instead of being $3.99, they're $2.99, all that kind of stuff.
Useless.
But when they come out in trade paperback format, if you're buying it in hardcover, they're charging you more, so they're still making money. So if you buy hardcovers, you're fine. You're still supporting technically the comic book because it's always going to come out in hardcover.
That's all I buy unless it doesn't exist. If it
Right.
doesn't exist, if they only make a soft trade, then I buy that. Like there's this
Well, I think everything comes out in hard.
no, because there's this is independent, I guess. I do a lot of independent.
Independent stuff would
Yeah.
probably be different. I only know the big two, even though it's like the most popular of everything. I only do the big two.
Yeah,
personally.
for me, the independents that I have right now, I think it's Image. It's not Image because I wouldn't notice that logo on it.
Speaking of Image, have you watched Geeking Out yet?
I never heard of it.
Geeking Out is Kevin Smith, Greg Grunberg. They have a new show, which is basically like the podcast he does, where he talks about nerd stuff. But they all go behind the scenes of productions, studios, all that stuff. And not Greg Grunberg,
What is
but
it?
Tiffany Smith. It's called Geeking Out.
No, what is it? TV show?
It's a TV show.
podcast? Okay.
It's a TV show, but obviously it's got Kevin Smith, so it's very kind of almost comic or almost podcast outlined. So, but anyway, it's a really good show, and I think on the second episode, second or third episode, this girl named Tiffany Smith who works for DC All Access.
No, I know Tiffany Smith.
She
I
went
watch a lot of
to
YouTube.
she went to McFarlane Toys
Ooh.
and like hung out with Todd McFarlane, watched like these Spawn toys that he's got coming
always
out and all that
said
shit.
if I come out and I'm a McFarlane toy, I have won. That's it. I'm done with life. He made a Marilyn Manson toy.
Who
He
did?
Made,
Todd McFarlane.
Yeah.
I like Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man. Out of everything, I think his version of Spider-Man is probably my favorite.
I have to read
That's
that.
the big
I don't think
white-eyed.
I have to look into it. I don't know if I read it or not. I believe I haven't. I have to look into it.
I think it was like 2006 is when he did.
I read a couple of McFarlane stuff for sure, or for sure Spawn, but I'm not even talking about that. Yeah. Anyways, go on.
But anyway, so back to the whole point of all this. If you buy the single issues when they come out first on Wednesdays and stuff, those are the big ones that obviously you support the industry, you support your local comic shop, all that kind of shit, and that's where they make like a good majority of their money. Then the hardcover trade paperbacks or the first print of the trade paperbacks are usually your time to make it up kind of thing, because they're obviously hardcovers are a little bit more valuable. But other than that, second, third, fourth prints just mean that the comic is doing well. And then obviously you got your trade paperbacks, which is them going, hey, here's the story, it's all together. Yeah, you're still supporting us, but that's not where we make a majority of our money from, and all that kind of stuff. So but what were we getting at? The Daredevil stuff.
No, hardcovers before that. So if I buy hardcovers, you think it actually helps the artist and
Well,
the
if
writer?
you buy anything, it helps the artist and the writer. But the hardcovers are. So if I had to put it in a pecking order of like the number one thing you can do to help the industry down to like the lowest thing to
Not
help
the
the industry,
I want to help the writer and
that's part of the industry
Okay.
though. So I'm
talking about like hold on,
not
I'll
the industry.
compare
Let me do this. To help the person who wrote and drew the book, who published the book, who runs the book, and who allows
artists as much as possible.
So to help as much as possible, again, and this is part of the industry as well, whether it's industry or artist or whatever.
By the artist, I don't mean just art. I mean the writer and the people who are actually involved, rather than the social
company
thing. Yeah, exactly.
So if there's the order, well, keep in mind too, you have to know how the artist was commissioned too, because there are some people who are just like, hey, you're signed on to write 12 books and that's it, your run is over, and then we're going to continue on. After that, then it's so it can either be commissioned to write next number of books and then moving on, or it could be you're commissioned to write a certain series and then you're moving on, or it could be you're going to get paid per book that you sell, or as long as we keep you on, whatever. There's a million different, I'm sure, pay grades that work with these, but if somebody is to get paid per book that they sell or per issue or whatever, then this is the pecking order. And again, I'm not
I would assume it's the most common.
What?
Most books you sell?
I feel like most people are commissioned per book that they do, not like per book that they sell.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. Again, just disclaimer for everybody who's listening to this. I'm not from the industry. I don't fucking know. This is just shit that I've heard. This is shit that I've kind of figured out. This is stuff that I've been told kind of through the grapevine from certain people who have been in that. So this is all I'm saying.
So if you know, or if you personally know, somebody who's in the industry.
Yeah, why not? Let's use our fucking Twitters for this.
Yeah,
if you know anything, please tweet us the actual answer to this.
I'm at Void Alexander, and
and I'm at James Draven. Draven is spelled Drhaven.
So please let us know, because I'm actually interested in this, because I want to help out as much as I can.
But here's my speculation on the pecking order of it is that the number one thing you can do to help to the last thing you can do to help. Number one is buy floppies, first prints. So the second they come out on Wednesdays, go in, buy it as soon as you can, and that's the number one thing you can do. Second thing you can do is, obviously, if those books sell out, like for example that new Captain America one where he's an agent of Hydra and shit like that, that shit was selling so well that they had to do, I think they're on like their 6th print or something like that. But anyway, the thing you can do, buy the floppy of the issue in the store. Second thing you can do, based on my speculation, is buy the hardcover. The hardcover obviously means that it's coming out on print, or it's coming out in trade paperback format for the first time. Obviously, it costs a little bit more because it's on a nicer print, all that stuff. So you do that, obviously, it's letting them know that it's something worth buying. Third thing you can do, I want to say it's going digital. I think number 3 is going digital because you're buying it straight from the source.
Oh, interesting. Okay, that makes sense.
Because you don't have to sell it to a retailer, they don't have to do all that. So that's why they're like $2.99 or $3.99 because 100% of that $3.99 is going straight to the artist. The dollar's going to the writer. The dollar's going to the storyboard artist. The dollar's going to the company, and that's it. But again, I could be wrong. So it's either digital or trade paperback. I think whatever those two are. But I think trade is the least you can do because you're basically paying a third or even a fourth of the price per issue that goes into those books. If you're buying a trade paperback that's got 7 or 8 issues inside of that particular volume or book, and they're selling it for $14.99, you're buying it basically for almost $1, not $1 a book. You're buying it for like $2 a book, whereas normally the floppies are like $3.99, $4.99, $5.99.
Pretty expensive.
And then the last thing you can do, obviously, illegal downloading or borrowing it from your friends, because they're not getting any fucking money that way.
Yeah. I like to support my artists. Like, I buy CDs right now. I buy CDs. I have cassettes.
Of course you do.
CDs.
Hipster.
And records. Okay? Cassettes, CDs, records. They're all sealed. They're all just sitting there because I have all the music in MP3. Okay, but I also have at least one shirt of each band that I enjoy. And I go to shows.
Okay. Well, that's where a lot of musicians make their money is
mainly
the
shows, especially now. It's mainly shows. But yeah, like I do as much as I can to help the artist. That's what I'm getting at. But anyways, so I'm happy that I actually do hardcovers because hardcovers is what I enjoy. I like hardcovers better. It's gratification.
I would like to do hardcovers, except for I'm so behind on a lot of things that I always get the trades when I have nothing new to pick up or nothing, or I have like an extra few bucks that I want to go pick up something that I haven't read yet. And the problem is all the hardcovers are usually gone. So if I want to get them online, I have to go through like eBay or something else like that, and that always turns out to be a problem.
It's always annoying.
So that's why I only do the paperback formats, because they just look nicer on a shelf when they're all the same height and they're all coinciding with each other.
Yeah. My bookshelf's a mess. If you look at it, it actually goes up and down, like just ridges, mountains.
Yeah.
Because like there's this one. If you're not familiar with it, look it up. I'm still mad about your girlfriend having that shirt.
I know. That's my shirt.
I hate you for having it.
I've had that shirt literally since that Batman and Robin. It's Batman and Robin from the movie. I've had that shirt since I was like 6 years old.
I don't know what you're talking about. This has been my shirt my whole life.
Okay.
False. That, and I've also got like an OG AC/DC t-shirt.
I don't know who that is.
What else do I have?
Sounds like a high-pitched singer.
Yeah.
That kicks a lot.
Right. Anyway, full circle with all of this, because you were talking about bands and whatnot. But really quick, so anyway, what I've been reading, Daredevil, is really good. If you want to borrow any of that, I got it. I've got the 4-part, it's like 4 or 5-part limited series of that particular Daredevil and Punisher. So it's Daredevil and Punisher going at each other.
Is it called Daredevil Punisher?
It's called Daredevil Punisher.
Okay.
But it's the same Daredevil that's in the new series. So it's not like this is one version of Daredevil and this is the second one. It's like this is the same Daredevil, just a different story has happened. And then what else have I been reading? Old Man Logan. Now that it continued on from Secret Wars, that's pretty good.
Wait, so it's still going?
So Old Man Logan was so widely received. It was originally like an 8-issue limited series. It was an 8-issue limited series, but it took off so well that when they did the Secret Wars stuff, and it was a collision of all the different universes, that they included Old Man Logan in the Secret Wars stuff. And so Old Man Logan had his mini 5-issue series during the Secret War events. And then after that, they started an Old Man Logan, like, continuous series, which is pretty good.
Is the Hulk still crazy?
So, without ruining it too much, ultimately, the universe is completely different.
Okay.
The universe is completely different. Everything that happened in the Steve McNiven original story did not happen. But it's still Old Man Logan. So if you want to read it, again, I'll loan it out to you. But it's not the same story. It's not let me put it this way. It's not a continuation of Old Man Logan. It's a continuation of the Secret Wars is what I'm trying to say. So it's really good. What else is there that I've been reading? Been picking up trades. I have Year 4 Part 1 of Injustice. I haven't read that yet though. Deadpool Spider-Man. I have that.
I actually stopped.
That Deadpool Spider-Man is just silly. It's nothing serious.
Yeah, I stopped after I met Miles Morales. So was that issue 3?
I don't know. I don't remember that, oddly.
Oh.
And then what else? Oh, and then I'm also reading the Deadpool miniseries that keeps going. So they have Deadpool, Merc for Money, then they have Deadpool and Spider-Man, and then there's Deadpool miniseries that keep coming out. So I have all 5 issues of Deadpool versus Gambit, and then they just did a new one that released actually Wednesday of this week that is Deadpool Back in Black. And it's basically him telling the story about how he had the black suit that Spider-Man got, but he had it first.
Oh, I heard about that.
So it's a 4-issue miniseries.
I heard about that,
so
yeah.
all of those stories all tie in together, but they're all miniseries so that you don't have to read all the other stuff. Like,
how do you like it?
I haven't read it yet. I haven't picked up even the first issue. I just finished Deadpool versus Gambit. But for example,
Gambit or Cable?
Gambit. It was dead. So it went Deadpool and Cable.
Okay.
Then it went Deadpool and something else.
Vaginas.
And then it went Deadpool versus Gambit.
Deadpool
now it's
killing vaginas, crushing vaginas.
and then it went Deadpool Back in Black. And that, so all of these stories tie together, but they're all limited series, so you don't have to know the previous stuff. So like there was Deadpool versus Thanos, there was Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, there was Deadpool.
I have that one.
Like
that's the only Deadpool I have. Strangely,
what?
Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe.
Nice.
I think it's my favorite Deadpool.
It's just because it's funny.
Yeah, it's fun. I think that is Deadpool being a complete asshole, and he's like, "Fuck everyone." I'm not even trying to be quirky. I'm just gonna kill. Destroy everyone, and like I like it that he's just like you see things just there. It's just I can't think of the things. Oh yeah, how he kills Wolverine. Kills,
right?
Kills.
Well, I just like at the end of it, him killing the universe is him jumping out of the page and he just kills the writers.
Can you not spoil it? Because that was amazing.
Oh, it's already out. People should already know. You should be reading it.
You should know. Anyways, read it because the journey is actually interesting as well. Not just the ending. But
right.
The ending is amazing.
But yeah, so all of those stories are all mini-series leading up. And then there was like Deadpool Return of the Living Dead. Then there was Deadpool... So all of those, Art of War.
They made a Mobius, I think they called it. Not an omnibus.
Uh-huh.
I think they call it Mobius, which is just a small section of a omnibus. And... yeah, it had all those stories. It had Deadpool kills Marvel Universe. It had Deadpool... like, I think they call it kills, like, literature or something, because it went through Frankenstein,
right?
Went through all that bullshit.
Nice.
Yeah, and then something else. I think the Return of the Living Dead. Return of the Living Dead.
There was Night of the Living Dead, and then there was Return of the Living Deadpool, which were the two back-to-backs.
I think they call it Return of the Living Deadpool for both of them.
Right.
They just put them together.
But yeah, so I mean, the Deadpool series is pretty good. I haven't picked up the Back in Black yet. I did the Deadpool versus Gambit, and I also have the Deadpool and Cable second split, is what it was called.
I think I read that. You made me read that. I remember you told me about it. Yeah, I was
one of the
into
covers was a mock of Back to the Future, so I put that one in my movie poster. Collection. There you go. But yeah.
You collect movie posters?
Yeah, my movie poster comic collection.
That's fine.
So, let's see, where are we at? What do we got? We're at like 75 minutes. So, holy shit. That's, I think we could call that an episode. Yeah?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
That was a long
So, hopefully those of you listening, you liked our
banter.
new podcast, our drinks and a round table, as we have our setup on a square table.
This is not a round ends.
Our drinks and a round table that's not round but with rounded edges,
There you
but our
go.
table is technically square.
Sounds better.
That doesn't roll off the tongue at all.
Yeah, that's the name of the
Does not
podcast
work at
now.
all.
Should we try to actually get that name?
Drinks and a round table on a table that's not really round but with rounded edges.
There you go. I think it's easy to find, isn't it?
Sure, we gotta be the only one.
For sure.
But yeah, so with that being said, this is kind of what our podcasts are. We just kind of keep going until nobody wants to listen to our shit anymore. I'm sure everybody's turned it off by now. And if you haven't, you're a trooper.
Thank you.
With that being said, we'll try to do these podcasts more and more. Again, you can always find us on...
The drinks.
No, what the fuck are you doing?
It's drinks of the round.
You
table,
can
right?
find us on YouTube, Facebook, SoundCloud.com/Drinks and a Round Table Podcast.
And a round table.
Drinks
Let's do
and a Round Table Podcast.
that. Say it again.
Drinks and a Round Table Podcast.
That's on YouTube, SoundCloud,
Facebook.
Facebook, and what are we missing?
That's pretty much it.
That's
Other
it.
than that, if you have any questions, you can find us on Twitter at...
Void Alexander, sadly, because I can't find Alexander Void because someone took it. So it's Void Alexander.
And I'm James Draven, DRHAVEN.
For trip.
And hopefully you guys will tune in again.
So let us know what we want to hear about next time. Do you
Yeah, you
want
got
to
any-
recommend some books? Maybe we're missing out on some stuff.
Somebody
awesome
asked me
stuff.
some Batman questions. I'd love to answer those.
See,
I get
that's
I get
awesome.
asked those all the time
Write
in
that
Uber.
down. Write that down. Let's do this.
I get
Because-
asked all the time in Uber because people see my little Batman air freshener and my steering wheel cover, and they're always like, "Oh, I see you like Batman. Hey, what's your favorite Batman? Hey, how does this Batman work?" Like, I like answering those questions. So if you have a Batman related question,
fun.
ask me. Actually, if you have a comic book related question, fucking ask me.
Right? That
Unless
sounds
it's
fun.
independent, then I got shit.
I'm mostly independent, but even then, I'm very, very picky. So if you're gonna ask me some Saga stuff, I don't care. I tried Saga. I couldn't get into it.
Me neither.
See, like, I got some hate. At least we were together on this because I couldn't get into Saga.
I couldn't do Saga.
I couldn't get into it. It's
Wasn't
not
big on.
me.
I'm also not big on Gerard Way's comics. Like, I get it. I understand the
I'm
appeal,
gonna
but
try. I'm gonna try because Eric is saying that it's really good. Nobody really says that it's meant for me because a couple of things have been said that's meant for me, like American Alien. So we're gonna talk about next podcast, by the way.
American Alien.
Next podcast, American Alien by Max Landis. So if you want to read that now, so you could be like, you know what we're talking about next podcast, because that for sure I want to talk about.
I know on the next podcast, I'm personally gonna spoil every fucking TV show that's out right now. So if you're not up to date, sucks to be you.
Time to actually start watching stuff because I'm behind.
Oh my god.
For sure, Luke Cage. I know you're watching that.
Oh my
so I'm gonna
god.
Watch that.
Hold on. My list involves Luke Cage, The Big Bang Theory,
Don't care about that.
Arrow, Flash. Just because it all ties in together, I'm watching
Still
Legends of
trash.
Tomorrow and Supergirl.
Trash plus trash.
Then
plus
I've
trash.
got God, what else?
Can you turn off the cable or something? Like, what is happening?
That's on regular TV.
That's
Yeah, right?
gross.
Shit, I forget like everything I'm watching. South Park, you told me South Park is back today.
Yeah, it's back.
Christ.
It's good. So
Hey,
watch
have you
that.
seen Frequency or Timeline?
No, I haven't seen any of those yet.
There's something West.
Ash vs. Evil Dead season 2 just came out.
I didn't remember season 1.
What?
I have to
I don't
watch
think you
it.
finished it. And then obviously
No, it's
Geeking
like
Out.
3.
Geeking
I'm
Geeking
gonna
Out is a
actually
good show
watch
too.
that. I wrote it down.
Did I just hear that you didn't watch it?
I'll
Watch what?
it with you, but for like,
The first season?
Oh yeah, he hasn't finished it yet.
what's like 3 or 4
I
episodes?
can't be friends with you till you finish.
I need more friends. I'm alone.
But anyway, so on the next episode, we'll talk television stuff. What Alex is watching, what I'm watching. Whose is better? Mine.
Not mine.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So let us know. Should we watch stuff? Let us know on Twitter, okay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm down. I'm down for anything. If anybody's actually listening to this and they want to listen to us talk about some shit they actually fucking care about, give us books to read, give us comics to read, give us movies to watch, television
Especially
shows
right
to watch.
now. Right now is the time.
Considering the fact that you're about to have a lot of free time.
That too, but also saying that we have a smaller audience, I'm sure. And right now we have more time to be like completely for you. So in
Right.
time it's getting harder to get more.
It's
and
all
more.
for you, babies. You guys got it. You guys got it. I'll treat you right.
I'm gonna try and do that too.
I'm gonna treat you guys right. You wanna make sure. All right, this got real pedo.
Oh, Drew, right?
Just about deep throat my mic.
Drew,
All right.
fine.
So before this mic goes any further, let's go ahead and wrap it up for Drinks on a Round Table, Episode 1, Death of the Two Ps. I'm James.
I'm Alexander Void.
Have a good one, guys.
The following podcast is solely for the purpose of entertainment. Names of people, business, characters, places, and incidents appearing or mentioned in this work are used fictitiously and or for the entertainment purposes only. Any resemblance to actual events, names, or real persons living or dead is entirely coincidental. In addition, all company names, products, music, or properties mentioned within the podcast are trademarks, registered trademarks, or copyrights of the respective holders. Use of any trademarks or copyright material or other names in the program does not constitute or imply any affiliation with or endorsement by them in any manner whatsoever.